The world outside is frozen, a landscape of stark, silent beauty. But then, without warning, the lights flicker and die. The hum of modern life ceases, replaced by an unnerving quiet. In this sudden, profound darkness, the cold begins to creep in, a relentless, invisible predator. A winter blackout is not merely an inconvenience. It is a life-threatening event where the primary enemy is hypothermia, a silent killer that can claim a life in a matter of hours. The comforts of our homes become potential traps, and survival hinges not on luck, but on preparation and knowledge. In this video, I will guide you through the 5 most critical items that can make the difference between life and death when the power grid fails in the heart of winter. These are not luxuries, but fundamental tools for survival, each chosen to combat a specific, deadly threat posed by the cold and dark. Understanding their function and proper use is paramount. This knowledge will empower you to protect yourself and your loved ones, transforming a potential catastrophe into a manageable challenge. Before we begin this essential journey, I invite you to become part of our community of prepared minds. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more vital survival insights. And in the comments below, share a mistake you've made in past winter preparations. By sharing our experiences, we learn from one another and become stronger together. Now, let us explore the first bastion against the encroaching cold. In the unforgiving theatre of a winter blackout, the most immediate and relentless adversary is the cold itself. Our homes, normally sanctuaries of warmth, begin to bleed heat into the frozen world outside. Passive insulation, while important, can only slow this process. To survive, we must actively generate our own warmth. This is not a task to be taken lightly, for the methods we choose carry their own inherent risks. The key is to create a controlled, sustainable source of heat within a confined space. I have found that one of the most reliable and effective tools for this purpose is an indoor-safe propane heater. Models such as the Mr. Heater Buddy are specifically engineered for this environment. They possess crucial safety features, including an oxygen depletion sensor and a tip-over switch, which are absolutely non-negotiable. These mechanisms are the guardians against the silent dangers of misuse, transforming a potentially hazardous device into a lifeline. The strategy is one of concentration. Attempting to heat an entire home is a fool's errand, a battle against thermodynamics you are destined to lose. Instead, one must choose a single, small interior room. A bathroom or a walk-in closet, a space with no exterior walls if possible, becomes your thermal core. This small bastion will be the heart of your survival efforts, the warm space where you will congregate and preserve your vital body heat. Sealing this room is the next critical step. You must methodically block any avenues of heat escape. Towels or blankets should be wedged firmly under the door. If there are vents for central air, they must be covered. Every crack, every seam is a potential leak through which your precious life-sustaining warmth will vanish. This act of sealing creates a micro-environment, a pocket of survivable temperature within the larger, freezing structure of your home. Once the room is secured, the heater can be deployed. It is not meant to run continuously. That would be a wasteful and honestly dangerous use of a finite fuel supply. Instead, you will use it intermittently. Run the heater for perhaps 15 to 20 minutes, just long enough to raise the ambient temperature of the small room to a tolerable level. Then turn it off. This cyclical approach conserves fuel and minimizes risk. The heat it generates is a powerful morale booster, a tangible victory against the encroaching cold. But with this power comes a profound responsibility. You must never, under any circumstances, leave the heater unattended while it is in operation. Your constant vigilance is the final and most important safety feature. You must be present, awake and alert, monitoring its performance and the environment it is creating. Furthermore, a small degree of ventilation is paradoxically necessary. While sealing the room is crucial, you must allow for a tiny amount of fresh air to enter. Cracking a door to an adjoining room for a few moments every hour, or ensuring there is some minimal indirect airflow, is vital. This prevents the build-up of harmful gases and ensures the oxygen depletion sensor on your heater does not prematurely shut the unit down. The propane cylinders themselves are your reserve of life. You must store them correctly, in a well-ventilated area away from living spaces, such as a detached garage or shed. Never store them indoors. Bringing them into the warm room only when it is time for use is the proper protocol. The number of cylinders you have on hand directly translates to the number of hours or days you can fend off the cold. In this small warm room, you will wait. The heater becomes your modern-day hearth, a focal point around which life is preserved. It is a testament to the human ability to adapt, to create a bubble of warmth in the harshest of conditions. Mastering its use is the first and most fundamental step towards enduring the long, cold night of a winter blackout. It is the active defiance of the encroaching frost. With the problem of heat addressed, we must immediately turn our attention to the invisible spectre that accompanies it. Combustion, the very process that grants us life-saving warmth, produces a byproduct, a silent, odourless and utterly lethal gas. Carbon monoxide. It is a ghost in the machine, an assassin that gives no warning. In the enclosed space we have so carefully created, its presence is an imminent and deadly threat. Many believe they will be able to detect a problem, that they will feel drowsy or notice a strange smell. This is a fatal misconception. Carbon monoxide offers no such courtesy. It binds to the hemoglobin in our blood with an affinity more than 200 times that of oxygen, effectively starving our bodies of the very air we breathe. The initial symptoms, headache, dizziness, nausea, are often mistaken for flu or fatigue, leading victims into a final, irreversible sleep. Therefore, our second essential item is not an option, but an absolute mandate. It is a battery-powered carbon monoxide detector. I must stress the battery-powered aspect. A detector that plugs into the wall is rendered useless at the very moment you need it most. This small, unassuming device is your sentinel, your electronic canary in the coal mine, standing watch over your life while you rest. The placement of this detector is a science in itself, not a matter of guesswork. Carbon monoxide is slightly lighter than air and will distribute itself throughout a room. However, the most critical location for a detector is near where you sleep. It should be placed at sleeping height, approximately level with your head as you lie down. This ensures that if gas begins to accumulate, the alarm will sound before the concentration in your breathing zone reaches a lethal level. Do not place it directly next to the heater, as this can sometimes lead to false readings. A distance of a few feet is ideal. Also, ensure it is not obstructed by furniture or curtains. The detector's sensors need unimpeded access to the air you are breathing. Think of it as an extension of your own senses, one that can perceive a danger you cannot. It must have a clear and unobstructed view of the environment. Before a crisis ever begins, you must test this device. Every detector has a test button. Press it regularly. Ensure the alarm is piercingly loud. Familiarize yourself and your family with its specific sound, so there is no confusion should it ever activate in earnest. You must also check the batteries, replacing them not when they die, but on a regular schedule, such as every 6 months. Using high-quality lithium batteries can extend this life, but vigilance remains key. In the small, sealed room that is your thermal sanctuary, this detector is your most trusted companion. It allows you to use your heater with confidence, freeing you from the constant gnawing fear of the unseen. It permits you the peace of mind to sleep, knowing that an unwavering guardian is on duty. Without it, using any combustion heater indoors is a gamble with your own life. If the alarm should ever sound, you must act immediately and without hesitation. Do not search for the source. Do not question the device. Your only action is to extinguish the heater and evacuate the room, moving everyone to a space with fresh air, even if it is cold. Open windows and doors to ventilate the area thoroughly before even considering re-entry. The alarm is not a suggestion. It is an order to save your own life. The carbon monoxide detector is, in essence, the price of admission for using an indoor heater. One cannot exist without the other in a survival scenario. It is a small investment that protects your most valuable asset, your life and the lives of those you care for. It stands as a stark reminder that in survival, the dangers we cannot see are often the most deadly of all. As the cold seeks to sap our physical strength, the darkness wages a war on our minds. The profound, absolute black of a widespread power outage is a primal force. It disorients, it isolates, and it breeds fear. In this environment, simple tasks become monumental challenges, and the risk of accident and injury skyrockets. To navigate our own homes, to perform basic tasks, to simply see the faces of our loved ones, for all this we need light. The temptation may be to turn to the romantic, flickering flame of a candle. This is a grave error. An open flame in a confined survival space is an invitation to disaster. In a moment of fatigue or distraction, a candle can be knocked over, igniting bedding, clothing, or a nearby curtain. In a home without running water to fight a fire, this small mistake can escalate into an uncontrollable inferno, turning your sanctuary into a death trap. The solution is modern, efficient, and infinitely safer. The LED headlamp. This simple tool is a marvel of survival technology. Its primary advantage is that it is hands-free. The darkness does not grant you the luxury of dedicating one of your hands to holding a flashlight. You will need both hands to prepare food, to tend to your heater, to administer first aid, or to comfort a child. The headlamp liberates your hands, integrating light into your very being. Not all headlamps are created equal. You must invest in a quality, robust model. Look for one that is water-resistant, as condensation can be a factor in your small, warm room. It should have multiple brightness settings. A low-lumen red light mode is exceptionally valuable, as it preserves your night vision, allowing you to perform tasks without blinding yourself or others each time you look away from the beam. The power source for this headlamp is as critical as the lamp itself. Standard alkaline batteries are a poor choice for a winter survival kit. Their performance degrades dramatically in cold temperatures, and they are prone to leaking during long-term storage. The superior choice, without question, is lithium batteries. They are largely unaffected by the cold, have a much longer shelf life, up to 2 decades, and provide consistent power until they are fully depleted. Having a single headlamp is insufficient. Each member of your group, every adult and older child, should have their own. This fosters independence and dramatically increases efficiency and safety. It also provides redundancy. If one unit fails, you have others to rely on. Along with these headlamps, you must store a substantial cache of spare lithium batteries sealed in waterproof packaging. Light is a resource to be managed as carefully as food or fuel. The psychological impact of reliable light cannot be overstated. It pushes back the oppressive darkness, shrinking the domain of the unknown and the feared. It allows for a semblance of normalcy. You can read a book, play a card game, or simply look at one another and communicate through expression as well as words. This connection, this ability to see and be seen, is a powerful antidote to the despair that darkness can cultivate. A good headlamp is not merely a tool for vision, but a tool for morale. It represents control and capability in an environment where both are in short supply. When you can confidently move about, check your supplies, and perform necessary tasks, you are no longer a passive victim of the dark. You are an active, capable survivor who is mastering their environment. So, when you assemble your kit, place your high-quality LED headlamps and your supply of lithium batteries at the very top of the list. They are your weapon against the psychological warfare of the blackout. They provide more than just illumination. They provide safety, capability, and a profound sense of security when the world outside has gone completely dark. They allow you to own the night rather than be consumed by it. As we generate external heat to warm our environment, we must not neglect the furnace within. The human body's primary defense against cold is its own metabolism, a constant, energy-intensive process of generating heat. During a winter blackout, your body is working overtime to maintain its core temperature. To fuel this internal fire, you must provide it with the right kind of energy, and plenty of it. This is not a time for dieting or complex meal preparation. The power is out, and with it, the ability to cook, bake, or refrigerate. Your survival pantry must be stocked with foods that require no cooking and no refrigeration. The guiding principle is caloric density. You need the maximum amount of energy in the most efficient, ready-to-eat package possible. This is about fueling a machine that is in a constant battle against the cold. Foods that are rich in fats and proteins are ideal. Peanut butter is a superb example. It is packed with calories, requires no preparation, and has a long shelf life. Beef jerky, protein bars, and trail mixes filled with nuts and dried fruit are also excellent choices. These items provide a slow, sustained release of energy, which is exactly what your body needs to maintain its metabolic rate over a long period. Canned goods also have their place, but one must be selective. Choose canned stews, chilies, and fish like tuna or salmon that are palatable even when eaten cold, directly from the can. While a hot meal is a significant morale booster, you cannot rely on the ability to heat your food. Your fuel is for warming your room, not for cooking. Every calorie must be consumed with a minimum expenditure of other resources. The strategy for eating should also change. Instead of 3 large meals, it is far more effective to graze throughout the day. Eating small amounts of high-energy food every hour or 2 keeps your digestive system constantly at work, a process which itself generates heat. This steady supply of fuel maintains a more stable metabolic rate and, consequently, a more stable body temperature. It is a slow, constant stoking of your internal furnace. A particularly effective tactic is to consume a significant portion of fatty food just before attempting to sleep. The process of digesting fats, known as thermogenesis, generates a surprising amount of body heat. Eating a large spoonful of peanut butter or a handful of nuts before getting into your sleeping bag can help your body produce its own warmth for several hours, allowing for more restful and safer sleep in a cold environment. Hydration, of course, remains critical. While it is not one of our 5 core items, as we assume access to stored water, it is inextricably linked to metabolism. Your body needs water to process food into energy. Store ample water, at least 1 gallon per person per day, and ensure it does not freeze. Keeping some water containers in your warm room will be necessary. Dehydration will impair your body's ability to regulate temperature. You must also consider the psychological aspect of food. Having familiar, comforting foods on hand can be a powerful morale booster. A small stash of chocolate or hard candy can provide a quick energy spike and a much-needed sense of normalcy and pleasure in a stressful situation. These small comforts should not be underestimated in their ability to fortify the will to survive. Your no-cook, high-calorie food supply is your body's ammunition against hypothermia. Before the crisis, calculate your needs, at least 2,500 to 3,000 calories per person per day. Assemble this supply in a dedicated, easily accessible location. This is not your everyday pantry. This is your survival cache. Having it ready means you can immediately begin fueling your body for the fight ahead, a fight that is won as much by metabolic energy as by external heat. We have secured warmth, guarded against invisible poisons, conquered the darkness, and fueled our bodies. But there is one final, insidious enemy to face in a prolonged blackout isolation. The silence of a dead grid is not just an absence of noise, it is an absence of information. Cut off from the world, the human mind can descend into a spiral of uncertainty, anxiety, and despair. Not knowing is a unique form of psychological torture. Is the power out for the whole city or just your street? Was it caused by a storm or something more serious? When can you expect help? These questions, left unanswered, can be as debilitating as the cold itself. Hope is a critical resource in any survival situation, and hope is nourished by information. To maintain it, you must have a way to hear the voice of the outside world. This is the role of our 5th and final essential item, a hand crank emergency weather radio. This device is a masterpiece of self-sufficient design. It requires no grid power and no disposable batteries. A minute of vigorous cranking can provide many minutes of listening time, a direct conversion of your physical effort into precious information. It is a link to civilization, powered by your own will to survive. Most modern emergency radios are multifunctional. They not only receive AM and FM broadcasts, but also, most critically, the No AA weather radio band. This is a network of stations that broadcast continuous weather and emergency information direct from the National Weather Service. During a widespread disaster, this channel will be your most reliable source for official updates, instructions, and advisories. Many of these radios also include a built-in solar panel. While not powerful enough for rapid charging, it allows the device to be left in a sunny window to trickle charge its internal battery, conserving your physical energy. Some even have a USB port, which, in a true emergency, could provide a few vital minutes of power to a mobile phone, perhaps enough to send a single critical text message. The psychological benefit of this device is immense. Simply hearing another human voice, a news anchor, a government official, can break the profound sense of isolation. It reaffirms that you are not alone, that society, though wounded, still functions. It provides context to your situation, transforming you from a solitary victim into a citizen who is part of a larger, coordinated response. This connection to the outside world allows you to make informed decisions. If you learn that the outage is expected to last for weeks, you can adjust your rationing of fuel and food accordingly. If you hear that warming shelters have been opened nearby and the roads are passable, you can make a calculated decision about whether to stay or to evacuate. Knowledge is power, and the emergency radio is its conduit. Like all your equipment, it must be tested. Regularly, you should crank it up and tune in to the local NOAA station, ensuring you know how to operate it and that it functions correctly. Store it with your other essential items, ready to be deployed at a moment's notice. It is a small, lightweight device, but its value in a crisis is immeasurable. In the quiet darkness of your shelter, the crackle of the radio coming to life is the sound of hope. It is a reminder that order exists beyond your walls and that an end to the ordeal will come. It is the tool that keeps your mind, your most important survival asset, sharp, informed, and resilient against the psychological strain of a world gone silent. It keeps you connected not just to information, but to humanity itself. The 5 items we have discussed, the heater, the detector, the headlamp, the food, and the radio, are more than just a checklist of gear. They are the pillars of a system, a strategy for mastering a winter blackout. But possessing them is not enough. The time to prepare is now, in the calm and the light, not in the frantic moments when the temperature is already plummeting. I urge you to go through your own supplies today. Check your batteries, inspect your heater, and rotate your food stores. A crisis does not wait for you to be ready. This journey of preparedness is one we take together. If this guide has been valuable, please like the video, share it with those you care about, and subscribe for more in-depth survival knowledge. In the comments, tell us which of these 5 items you will be adding or upgrading first. Your commitment can inspire others to take this vital step. Every home that is prepared is one less burden on emergency services and one more bastion of resilience in our community. Ultimately, survival is a matter of discipline. It is the discipline to acquire the right tools before they are needed, and the discipline to learn how to use them safely and effectively. In the stark reality of a winter emergency, you will not rise to the occasion. You will fall to the level of your training and preparation. Be prepared, be disciplined, and you will not just survive, you will prevail. Stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss our latest survival tips. Stay prepared.